Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayanti Prabhupada Paramahansa Acharya Siddhartha Saraswati Sivan. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Kanga Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagna Ki Jai. Vihavananga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. Samadeta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. Next, we would like to invite Shri Prahlada Prabhu for delivering the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. Hare Krishna. Can you please sit closer if you're far at the back of the room?
Sugaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindiki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govinda Shavakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Ganga Devi Ki Yamuna Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Mayapur Namarit Dham Ki Rajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Yu Navadvip Dham Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrindiki Nitai Gaur Premanandi Glory to the assembled devotees Glory to the assembled devotees Glory to the assembled devotees Glory to Shri Shri Guru Guru Glory to Shri Prabhupada. So today is the April. Stop working. Today is our day of departure. It is the last day of this wonderful festival that we have been celebrating together. And I'm remembering, well, when we depart, there are lots of mixed feelings, emotions that are expressed, felt by devotees. I think there'll be some realizations shared later. But I'm reminded of the departure of Lord Chaitanya's devotees after being with him in Jagannath Puri to celebrate Rath Yatra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would invite the devotees of Bengal each year to be with him in Jagannath Puri. And they would stay for a long time. They would stay for several months. They would come in May, June, which is when Rath Yatra is usually celebrated. And then they would stay for up to Janmashtami and Ram Navami. So, like 3-4 months, they would stay with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri and then return to Bengal. And that was a custom every year. Different groups of devotees would come together, and Shivananda Sen would lead the journey. He would coordinate the travel. And devotees would arrive in Puri. There would be allocated places to stay. Maharaj Prataparudra, he would arrange for devotees accommodation and prasadam in different places in Jagannath Puri. And they could be in Lord Chaitanya's presence and associate with him for a period of time. Dance with Lord Chaitanya in the Rath Yatra festival. Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes how the devotees celebrated Janmashtami. It's quite wonderful. They would dress up as cowherd boys. And some devotees would dress as Nanda and Yasoda. And Lord Chaitanya would be as a cowherd boy, would be twirling a stick like a cowherd. Nityananda Prabhu challenged him, if you're really a cowherd boy, show us how you can twirl that stick with your fingers, between your fingers. And so there was a nice transcendental competition between Gaura and Nityananda, who was the better cowherd boy, who was the more authentic cowherd boy based on their stick twirling prowess. They also celebrate Ram Navami, Ram's appearance, or Ram's Vijay, Ram's conquering over Ravana. And so that celebration, they all dressed as monkeys and bears, and they went out and conquered Lanka. So very nice descriptions of how Lord Chaitanya celebrates these festivals with his devotees. And you can imagine the feelings that the devotees had being in Lord Chaitanya's association for these festivals, Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, and so on. And so when it comes to time to leave, it's a very difficult, emotional time for them. And they have a final darshan with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they ask for some instruction. What is some instruction for us before we leave? So that we will discuss today, that instruction. So I ask you to go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 15, verse 104. I'll say it again. Madhya Lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 15, verse 104.
Post in the group. Can someone post in the group?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Post to the group. Madhya 15, 104. Okay, hopefully most of you are there now. Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na. Okay, I know that two of you can start the verse. Let's try again. Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
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 Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana. Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava sevana.
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
प्रभु कहे न कृष्ण सेवा वैष्णव सेवना
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
निरंतर कर कृष्ण नाम संकीर्तन
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava sevana.
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana.
Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana. Ladies.
प्रभु कहना कृष्ण सेवा वैष्णव सेवना
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na.
निरंतर कर कृष्ण नाम संकीर्तन
Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na. Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana. Prabhu kahena Krishna seva Vaishnava seva na. Nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana. Okay, let's discuss translation. Prabhu kahena means Lord Chaitanya replied. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, without cessation, continue chanting the holy name of Krishna. Wherever possible, serve him and his devotees, the Vaishnavas. So once again, the context, devotees have been with Lord Chaitanya for many months. These are the devotees of Kulinagram. They have a final darshan with Lord Chaitanya before their departure. They say, please give us some special instruction. What is your order for us as we leave? What should we take with us as our order from you? And this is his reply. You should serve the holy name. You should serve Krishna. You should serve Vaishnavas. This pastime continues. The devotees, and the reason why I'm bringing this, yes, because we are now departing, that is one context. Another is that this festival has been about establishing Vaishnava community. And so I want to speak specifically about serving Vaishnavas and loving Vaishnavas. Because the question the devotees ask after receiving this order, they say, how do we recognize who is a Vaishnava? It's a good question. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's called it, serve Krishna, serve Vaishnavas, chant the holy name. So we have a sense who is Krishna and the holy name you have given us. But how do we know who is a Vaishnava? This can be confusing for us sometimes. Who is that Vaishnava that we should serve? Should it be the most exalted person, just the pure devotees, the gurus, the sannyasis, the most advanced devotees, or do you mean here that we should serve committed devotees, or what about others that are not practicing that much? Do we serve them as well, or how do we deal with them? And so they ask the question, how do we recognize a Vaishnava? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's answer, who can say?
Whoever chants the holy name.
Whoever chants the holy name, okay.
Even once.
Even once. Yeah, he says, even once. Anyone who chants Krishna's name, even once, is a Vaishnava. So there's a very broad definition. Even once. If somebody chants Krishna's name, they are to be counted as a Vaishnava. Ajamila would be the Bhagavatam example or proof for this, because he also chanted, maybe a few times, Narayana, on his deathbed when he was in fear of the Yamadutas. He called out to his son. The Yamadutas tried to drag his soul away to Yamaraj for punishment, and the Vishnudutas obstructed him. And the Yamadutas questioned, why are you here? Who are you? How could you stop us? This is a sinful man. He must be taken to Yama. And they told his story, what bad things he had done. And the Vishnuduta said, all that you say is true. The Yamadutas also made the point, he hasn't done anything to atone for this. He hasn't confessed his sins. He hasn't expressed any remorse. He hasn't undergone any purificatory acts. And so, he has no case. This man is doomed. And the Vishnuduta said, all that you say is true, except you haven't taken into account that he chanted the holy name. When he chanted the holy name, he annulled all those sins that you're describing. He changed the trajectory of his destiny. And they addressed the doubt of let's say the elephant in the room. They said, you might say that he didn't know what he was uttering. He didn't intend to chant the holy name of Lord Narayan, that he was calling out to his son. And the Vishnuduta said, you would be correct in raising that objection. However, they said, just like medicine, you don't have to know what it is. You don't have to know its chemical composition. You don't even have to be intentional. But if you take the medicine, there will be an effect in your body, and the disease will be cured. In the same way, they said, the holy name, even when chanted unconsciously, unintentionally, or maybe with an intention that is other than bhakti, maybe to mock the Vaishnavas, or maybe the holy name is somehow included within some other word or phrase. I was born in New Zealand. There are lots of towns there that have holy names as their nomenclature. There's a town called Hari, and another called Rama. So very fortunate people who live there, constantly chanting holy names, but unconsciously and unintentionally. And according to the Vishnudutas, they will be getting the benefit of chanting the holy name. And so this is a very broad description that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives, or definition of what is a Vaishnava and how they are to be recognized. What's wonderful is that after saying this, he glorifies different devotees from their village. And when we analyze his glorification, we see he's glorifying different devotees in different occupations or different positions. He glorifies Mukunda and Raghunanda. Mukunda was the father, Raghunanda the son. Mukunda was a physician. He was a physician to a Mohammedan king. Raghunanda was the son, and it was he who became a devotee and then inspired his father to become a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda, Mukunda, who is the father, who is the son? And Mukunda replied, he says, Raghunandan is the father, I am the son. Because he made me a devotee. And then Lord Chaitanya glorified Mukunda. He said, Mukunda, he is such a great Vaishnava. Once he was sitting with the king, the Muslim ruler, and they were discussing something about disease and cure. And a servant came with a peacock feather fan. And when Mukunda saw those peacock feathers, he remembered Krishna and fell down from the platform unconscious. And the king got down to revive him and bring him up and asked, are you all right? Is everything okay? And Mukunda said, yes, everything's fine, don't worry. Lord Chaitanya said, but the king actually understood. This is a great devotee of Krishna. Even though he was a Muslim, he was able to appreciate the saintly quality of this doctor, this physician of his. Then he said to Raghunandan, he says, Raghunandan, you are serving the deity so nicely, with so much devotion. Your temple is next to a lake, and by that lake there is a kadamba tree, and every day that kadamba tree, throughout the year, in all seasons, it produces 2 flowers. You can offer those to the deity. And there was another devotee there named Narahari. And he said, Narahari, you stay here in Jagannath Puri. You stay here with me and my associates, Lord Chaitanya's associates in Puri. Most of them, many of them, they were sannyasis. Basically, he's telling Narahari to become a renunciate and stay with him in Puri as a sannyasi. So these devotees, they are all varied, of varied designations, positions. One a physician working for a Muslim, one a pujari who worships in the temple, another a sannyasi that Lord Chaitanya is having stay with him. The Lord Chaitanya's love and affection and glorification is for all of them. And so when we see the Vaishnava, the one who chants Krishna's name, even once, we can also recognize that the Vaishnavas, they are found in all positions of society. There is a nice verse in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 13, verses 3 to 6, I believe, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Uddhava, he says, in every age, my devotees appear in all stations. My devotees appear among the demons. My devotees appear among the Rakshasas. My devotees appear among the demigods, among the animals, among the plants, among the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. And so we might have to think for a little bit, like who are the devotees among the demons?
Prahlada Maharaj.
Prahlada Maharaj, yes. Bali Maharaj. There are more. Yeah. Yeah, Vritrasura. Yeah, very good. Vibhishan among the Rakshasas. Yeah, good. That was a different category. Balasura as well, he gets counted as a, Krishna actually counts it. In the next verse, he actually gives the names of different personalities. Among the animals, Gajendra?
Hanumanji.
Huh?
Hanumanji.
Hanumanji? Jambavan? Among the birds? Garud? Jatayu, yeah? Okay, Sampati. Among the plants? Tulsi Maharani. Krishna also mentions, he says, the plants in Vrindavan, the trees and creepers in Vrindavan. They are my devotees, they have much love and affection for me. He mentions women. Sorry? Mohini, okay. Devotees among women.
Kunti Devi.
Kunti, okay, yeah. The wives of the Brahmanas, and then the most exalted of all devotees are the gopis of Vrindavan. He mentions a hunter named Dharma. He mentions a butcher. He mentions this could be surprising to us. He mentions was it the butcher named Tuladara? Yeah, Lord Krishna is very inclusive in his counting of who his devotees are. They're not limited. He mentions a merchant. So many Kshatriya kings that are Vaishnavas, so many Brahmanas we know. But how Krishna is counting demons, Rakshas, doesn't matter where one appears. Prahlada Maharaj, he was such a great devotee, and he demonstrates that the point that Krishna's mercy is not constrained to the demigods or to the Brahmanas. So Parikshit Maharaj asks that question, is Krishna biased? Is Krishna prejudiced? The beginning of the 7th canto. He's seen how Krishna sided with Indra against Vritrasura, against Bali Maharaj, and he says, is Krishna biased? Sukadeva Goswami says, no. Just see, the greatest of devotees, Prahlada Maharaj, he appeared among the demons. And he tells his story. 7th canto of the Bhagavatam. And he tells how when Narasimhadev appeared to protect Prahlada, and he was so angry, and Brahma tried to come forward to offer prayers and pacify Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev growled at him and he went back in fear. Lakshmi tried to come forward and Narasimhadev growled at her and she went back. Nobody could approach Lord Narasimhadev. And then Prahlada ventured forward. Narasimhadev put his hand on Prahlada's head. Prahlada began to speak. He said, I'm just a boy, I'm a child, and I'm a demon. What qualification do I have to glorify you, Lord? I have no qualification. He says, but if I have any qualification, it is my devotion for you. I love you. And one who loves you, the devotee who loves you is more exalted even than the Brahmana with so many qualifications. He mentions 12 political qualities. And he says, because of this, then I dare to try to glorify you. And he offers the most wonderful prayers. So Prahlada demonstrates that Krishna's mercy is for everyone. Bhakti, it is not constrained by material limitations, designations. Bhakti is independent of social status, material body situation, race, even species, according to Krishna in this verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is appreciating that and glorifying his devotees in different occupations. So there's much here for us to learn in how we deal with each other. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to appreciate like that, if Krishna's appreciating like that, then we must adopt the same mentality. That is what is pleasing to Krishna. Because Krishna is telling us, Lord Chaitanya is telling us, serve devotees. The next year, the devotees of Kulinagram, they visited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as they were about to leave, they asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, do you have any special instruction for us? Who could say what Lord Chaitanya said? So we discussed chapter 15, right? Chapter 15, 104, that's the verse we read today. Chapter 16 describes their visit the following year. And before their departure, we're all departing today, they said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, do you have some instruction for us? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant the holy name, okay? And serve devotees. He said, chant Krishna's name, serve Krishna, serve devotees. Same answer, same question. They got the same answer. And the devotees asked, who was the devotee? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a different answer this time. He said, anyone who chants Krishna's name constantly, or regularly, constantly, they are a Vaishnava. You serve them. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, the same thing happened the year after. The devotees were about to depart. They asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for instruction. He said, serve Krishna, serve devotees, chant the holy name. And the devotees asked, who is a devotee? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, anyone who, on seeing them, someone is inspired to chant Krishna's name, that is a devotee. On seeing them, then we are inspired to serve Krishna, to love Krishna, to chant the holy name. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed the devotees what is Vaishnava, Vaishnavatara, and Vaishnavatama. The Vaishnava, the special Vaishnava, and then the most exalted Vaishnava. Another way we might say is, another classification we give is neophyte, and then advanced and most advanced. Chaitanya Srila Prabhupada, by seeing him, people were inspired to chant the holy name. But that mercy continues to flow today. Devotees, they are able to awaken devotion for Krishna in the hearts of others. So these are special devotees. Our love and affection should be for all devotees, and then there are special devotees, and that is the discernment that Rupa Goswami describes in his Upadeshamrita. Krishneti yasya giritam manasapriyeta dikshasti chet pranatimischa vajantam isham shru shro shraya vajana vidyamanasyamadya diddari sunyam vidavipsita sankalapyat. Mentally honor those who identify as devotees of Krishna. In this, then the devotee also tries to give mercy. So mentally honor, but also try to help as a mentor, as a guide, as a support. Those who are junior practitioners, our mercy will flow like a river flows naturally to the ocean. And then Rupa Goswami says, those who are committed in their practice at the same level of spiritual advancement, you make firm friendship with them. and you support each other as friends. And then those that are senior, more spiritually advanced, then you serve them. And he also gives the way to understand the most exalted devotee. Nindari sunyam hridam sita sankalapya. These most advanced devotees, they are free of the tendency towards criticism. They don't criticize others. They don't hate others. They're not envious of others. Those are the most advanced devotees, according to Rupa Goswami's description here. So this is discernment. Vaishnavas are also discerning. While there is love and respect for everyone as a default position, then in terms of intimacy, then there can be some discernment as well. I used to use the word discrimination, but I found that a loaded term to be discriminating in how, because that sounds exclude, that we will exclude others. I've since more recently, the past few years, decided on the word discerning. Discerning is a better word. That means that we are with some philosophical and spiritual understanding, then we are expressing our feelings and our love and our affection to devotees in different ways, based on different types of relationships. So the most exalted devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, one who is able to awaken love for Krishna in the hearts of others. In the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, Krishna also mentions Bhaktya Sanjayate Bhaktya. Bhaktya Sanjayate Bhaktya, or Bhaktya Sanjate Bhaktya. It means that bhakti awakens from bhakti. The bhakti that is in the heart of the Vaishnava awakens bhakti in the hearts of others, where that love for Krishna may be lying dormant or sleeping, so to speak. And that is why the Vaishnava is so loved and so special, that the way to awaken devotion for Krishna is to associate with Vaishnavas. The way that bhakti becomes awakened in the hearts of any soul is through the association of Vaishnavas. Whether it's a chance encounter or a purposeful encounter. There is a nice description in the Damodar Lila. We celebrate the Damodar Lila each year during the month of Damodar, Kartik. When Krishna was bound by Mother Yasoda to the grinding mortar, then he looks across the courtyard. This is described by Sukadeva Goswami in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. He looks across the courtyard and he sees these two trees, the twin Arjun trees. And he thinks to himself, these trees, they are there because of a curse from Narada Muni. They are the sons of Kubera, Nala Kubera and Manipuriva. And they are rascals. They were proud of their opulence. They disregarded the Vaishnava, Narada Muni. They were engaged in sinful activity. They have no interest in me, no inclination towards me, and I have nothing for them. Krishna says, as people approach me, I reciprocate accordingly. When a soul chooses to ignore me, I also give them that space that they think that they're independent of me, although everything rests on me as pearls are strung on a thread. So they have nothing, they have no interest in me, and so I have no reason to engage with them. And Krishna could have left it there. But then he further considers, but Narada Muni said I would deliver them. Therefore I better go and do it. This isn't a commentary, this is Sukadeva Goswami himself revealing what Krishna is thinking. Narada Muni said, I will deliver them. Therefore, I have to keep the word of my devotee, Narada Muni. Not for them, for Narada Muni. He's the one who said it. My devotee wished that I would do this. My devotee willed for me to help these two. And therefore, I am obliged to Narada Muni that I must do this. And so Krishna crawled across that courtyard, lodged his grinding mortar between those two trees, and pulled himself through. Tiny baby. Pulled himself through, caused those trees to come crashing down. And these celestial beings came out. They see Krishna, they're purified. They've had a long time to think about what they've done. And they've come to appreciate Narada Muni's curse was in fact a blessing. And so they offer prayers and circumambulate Krishna. They return to their own abodes, but the acharyas explain that they, after time, they return to the spiritual sky. So that is the grace of the Vaishnava. That is the blessing of the Vaishnava. The souls have committed to be independent from God, trying to enjoy separately from God. But when the devotee says to Krishna, please deliver this one, please be merciful to this soul, then Krishna, he is obliged, he feels himself obliged to reciprocate with that request of the Vaishnava. And he goes in and he gives his grace, he gives his blessing, he gives his mercy. Therefore, the Vaishnava is the greatest blessing. The greatest blessing to the world. More merciful than Krishna. More merciful than the Ganges. Shastra advises us. More beneficial than bathing in the Ganges is to hear from the sadhus who are sitting by the Ganges. By bathing in the Ganges, you can be purified of sinful reactions. By hearing from the Vaishnavas, we can be purified of the inclination to engage in materialistic activity. That's the difference. Be purified of material reaction. Parikshit Maharaj compares it to the elephant's bath. Oh, you're purified, you've been cleaned, but then the next thing we do, the elephant does after coming out of the water, is to roll in the dust. Or be purified of material reaction compared to the burning of a bamboo forest. In the farm where I grew up in Australia, Yagna, we had lots of bamboo. Sometimes there was once in particular, there was a forest fire, so a lot of the bamboo burned. But within months, all the shoots were there. First rain, those shoots come up, and within short time, there's a bamboo forest again. It grows very quickly, like grass. Bamboo is in fact a type of grass. And so Parikshit Maharaj, he says, karma, elephant's bath. Jnana, some knowledge, bamboo forest. The purification might be a bit deeper, but the roots are still there. But bhakti, he says, it is like the sunrise which clears away all the fog. When the sun rises, that fog is gone, and it's gone. As long as the sun is there, that fog is it's away. It's been dissipated. That fog no longer exists as fog anymore. And so that's what Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj compares to bhakti. How does that happen? Bhakti sanjayate bhaktya. When the bhakti that is in the heart of the Vaishnava is conveyed or transferred or somehow received one way or another, then it becomes ignited in our own hearts as well. Even if it's just to say Hare Krishna in a mocking way, to make fun of the Vaishnavas. It counts. Something happens. There is a reversal of a trajectory. It's the cycle of samsara towards a upward trajectory. Tad Vishnu paramam param sada pasyanti surya divi vichakshuratatam tad vipraso vivanyavo jagravanam sasavidite. The suras, the Vaishnavas are always looking to param upwards to the spiritual sky. The Vaishnavas are looking to the spiritual sky, and those that come in contact with them also have their gaze lifted to the spiritual sky. And therefore, when Rupa Goswami defines bhakti, he doesn't define it as service to Krishna. He defines it as Krishna anu shivanam bhaktir uttamam. Service to Krishna, etc. Service to Krishna and his devotees. Prabhupada would say, you never see Krishna alone, he's always with his devotees. Sometimes Krishna is depicted as hanging in a cloud somewhere. The Prabhupada didn't appreciate those depictions of Krishna. Floating in a cloud with an Omkara behind him. Krishna is always engaged in loving relationships with his devotees. And so with these reflections, may we all come to appreciate more and more the blessings that we have in a society of devotees. What a blessing to live in a society of devotees. For much of time, for many people, it's hard to find even another Vaishnava to surrender to associate with, to have a friendship with. Prabhupada has created an international society of devotees. And within that, then we have various communities of devotees. Don't take it for granted. Such a blessing, such a treasure. By the mercy of these devotees, we will be uplifted. By the mercy of these devotees, our devotion for Krishna will be awakened and accepted. When we offer, it will be accepted when it is offered also with the devotees included. Offered through the devotees, offered with the devotees, then there's a greater likelihood of Krishna recognizing and accepting that service. So just over time, I would have liked to open it up for comments and questions as well. I just looked at my clock. Thank you all for your association. Let us conclude by offering our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone because they're full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shri Prahlada Prabhu. Let's give a big hand once again. So now, don't leave yet. We're going to have breakfast and then come back for sharing our realizations.